Avenue. Jackie Roberts in the traffic center.
This report is sponsored by Discount Drug Mart.
Whereas your neighborhood Discount Drug Mart has absolutely everything you need for the biggest Memorial Day blowout ever and is open Memorial Day for all your last-minute needs, we are proud to declare Drug Mart the official Memorial Day weekend celebration headquarters.
This is The Buzzard.
From the Bath Authority Studios.
The Buzzard.
The home of the Buzzard.
Buzzard. This is 100.7 WMMS.
Cleveland. Call the Alan Cox Show.
I believe we have another winner on the phone. What do you think about that? This guy's a weirdo.
216-578-1007 or 1-800-348-1007.
A little preamble to get you in the mood for the Bill Squire Friday Get Down, which is mere moments away. That is how we know the weekend is officially underway on a holiday weekend or any other time.
What song was that?
Party Hard by Andrew W.K.
What does it make you think of?
Alan Cox, yeah.
Like a beer commercial.
Mary thinks
It sounds like Christmas
music.
Oh,
It's not
that's
Christmas
funny, yeah.
music?
Because there's a piano and some sleigh
some bells,
in it.
yeah.
But
Every
it's-
time he plays it, I'm like,
But
that's
it's a Christmas music. What is the Electric Light Orchestra? No,
The Trans-Siberian
Trans-Siberian,
Orchestra.
Oh, but who do they identify as?
A good time.
A rock group.
An Easter
time.
band. An
Yeah.
Easter band.
In the afternoon,
What's the other one though? The more synthesized.
the Mannheim Steamroller.
Steamroller. Yeah.
What? I've never heard of them.
You never heard of
That's not the same band?
It's not the
No.
same band, no.
Trans-Siberian Orchestra were guys that were a metal band in the
From Siberia,
80s
right?
from
Yes.
Tampa
Oh.
called Sabotage. And they
That's
broke
Sabotage?
out.
Florida.
Yeah. And then they got at some other guys, and they have...
Hold on. I thought Sabotage was Canadian.
No, they're from Tampa.
What was
They're
their big
blown
hit?
Hall of the
Under now.
Mountain King was their big hit.
Oh, yes.
And those guys...
Sabotage is from Canada.
Sabotage is from Canada. Yeah, Sabotage.
And they had a tiny little singer, I think.
This is what the Trans-Siberian Orchestra used to sound like in the 80s.
Christmas time!
Yes.
Right. I still have Mitts and Cranks in my Google search, by the way. Anyway, Ian Bagg is here for the
Put on
uninitiated.
Sabotage now.
Huh?
Put on Sabotage now.
The Canadian band?
Yeah.
I probably...
It's illegal.
I was going to say, yeah.
You can't play Canadian
I
music.
can't play that song, Mitts and Cranks.
70% cheaper. Play it.
We have one Canadian already. We can't do two.
Yeah, that's two. That's actually, you implode.
I think I only have Sabotage from the Beastie Boys.
Yeah, that
Sabotage Canadian band. Yeah.
Mighty Weapons or something was their song.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I mean, Cancer Bats were Canadian.
Cancer bats?
Yeah.
Is that a disease that women get downstairs?
Yes, it is. Thank you for knowing that. Not a lot of men know that.
Cancer Mitts and Cancer Cranks is what happens.
Man.
Ian Bagg is
How
doing
long since you
hilarities
used that thing? You got cancer bats
this
down there.
weekend. And there are a few tickets remaining, so you're going to want to go and
They're
find
just sold out.
All of them.
After they heard me sing Sabotage. they're like,
Uh-huh.
We're going.
Do
We're
it.
going.
Let's do
We're
it.
going.
Hey, Mike.
Hey, Alan, hate the show.
Thank you, Mike. What's up?
Hey, everybody unclench your buttholes. I got a serious comment
Too
here
late.
today. Discussion point. Yeah. First, Ian's hilarious. I saw him a couple years back over here on the west coast of Ohio. But,
Thank you.
yeah, everybody should go see him. I did want to ask about crowd work, though. Basically, I saw the algo fed me some little snippet of some other comedian named Greg something or another where he had like a bit about crowd work where it was essentially like it's a cheap parlor trick that if you just ask everybody who they what do they do and where they're from for a few months, you'll basically have a response to any possible answer. And I wanted to see what the comedians thought about that.
that
Do they
Kirk
think
Fitzsimmons?
crowd work is a good thing, or if it's if it's the core of comedy, or if it's kind of a cheapo thing?
You guys,
No, go ahead.
Okay, I'll answer. Wait, there's some very bad crowd work out there that, yes, does do that. But there's also some people that write jokes and I can see them sitting at a table while they're writing the joke, like while they're performing the joke. Like I can see people not actually living the joke. So
it's not off the cuff.
There's people that are bad in everything. All right. So when everybody just attacks one thing, it's because they're a little jealous, but they're also uninformed.
And they might have seen the wrong person perform that particular thing.
Right. I'm not a big fan of puppets, but you know what I mean?
Jeff Dunham murders.
Yeah, and he wears sweater vests.
Yeah.
So you have to. There's great people at everything, and I was influenced by Jonathan Winters, is who I was influenced by. So and if you watch some of his stuff, it's about just getting a little information and just turning it into a snowball.
Yeah. And he
stream
was
of consciousness.
But also Jonathan Winters is one of those guys where he was like his own thing.
Right.
So to look at that guy and go, oh, I could do that. That's not what you think. You go, whatever that is really appealing to me.
I love
right.
it. Yeah, I've never thought about comedy. I can do that. I've thought, oh my goodness, this makes me feel amazing.
Right.
That's all it does to me. So
Right.
it's not like there's a lot of people out there. Oh, I can do that. No. That's not what you should be.
Well, there's room for everybody, right? When people would say that, you'd be like, well, I mean,
I can do that.
No, you just say like, well, good
a lot
luck.
of people
I
will be
mean,
cut out right now.
Yeah.
Good luck.
Usually when people say I can do that, they can't.
Yeah.
Right.
Mike,
so-
my question is, what do you do for a living?
I'll punch you in the head, Mike.
It's super funny. It's software development.
Oh, hilarious.
Oh, yeah, I got nothing for that.
Dork.
Pervert.
Yeah. Hey, Mary, when you want to compare W-2s, let me know.
Say again?
I said when you want to compare W-2s, just let me know.
Oh,
Was that a flex or was
I think it was a flex.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, listen, from what I understand, and I'm
She
not
didn't say
well
you were
versed.
poor. She said you were a dork.
From what I understand, computers are
in.
very popular.
Okay, hey, I'm in.
Yeah, Ian, he'll compare W2s any day.
I'm absolutely in. It's been a good year, Mike.
Can Mary and I combine ours?
Yeah, right. Be in the place.
You should never go financial, Mike. Always just go, hey, I like this. I like what I do, and you can't do it. That's what you should say.
I called him a dork. I think he
But she's
thought
into
I called
dorks.
him poor.
Oh, is that what it was?
I think.
Oh, I see.
She called him a whale's penis.
I did.
But why would you, I don't know, why would we call somebody poor?
I'm the last person
very
to call
strange.
somebody poor.
Yeah.
Did you call up begging for money?
Please, sir.
Poor
may I have
man.
some more?
Is he still there? Because I like him.
No, I let him go.
Oh, you let him go because he was getting angry.
I'll compare W-9s with you.
No, I thought that maybe we had covered whatever ground needed to be covered with him there.
Be
But
honest,
Mike, you can
that's,
call back. If
That's
you
a
want.
weird name for a penis. I'll compare my W-9 against your W-9.
Mm-hmm.
Mary.
Uncircle me.
Mary.
Uncircle me.
Well, it's got to be pure, right? They always say that. You can't go into anything like that for money. Because if you get good, you'll get the money, and then what do you use for inspiration?
I've never, weirdly enough, I started out at a time I didn't even know you could make money.
Right.
It was so. I grew up at a time. I started out in a time where the internet wasn't a big enough thing that you could look up what to do, how to do it on the internet.
Right.
I had to fumble my way around it, and I grew up in a small town, so I had to go to Vancouver to start. Nobody I knew was in show business.
Yeah.
So I probably made every wrong move that a stand-up should make to get to being a stand-up because I didn't know anything.
Mm-hmm.
But with being naive and just having enough drive, it worked.
Well, you also, doing that, you also learn a whole lot of other things that other people will never learn because they might have not taken such a circuitous route to get to where you did. You know what I mean?
Right. Probably, absolutely.
At the time, you're like, well, this isn't going the way I want. But you're picking up little things here and there that other people who might have a better hold on it aren't going to get.
What was your first press kit like? Did you make it yourself? Or did you have
I'll let you know when I get one.
I remember trying to make press kits and having VHS tapes and then eventually DVDs and all that stuff and mailing them to clubs. And
even then, yeah. I'm sure I had an agent before I had a press
wow.
kit because we didn't
the
send
means,
them out.
yeah.
You didn't send them
I found
out.
a box of old headshots the other day.
Oh, those are funny.
Sell
bring
them
them in.
Yeah.
Sell them.
Somebody asked
Bring
me
them on
for
the
a
funny
headshot.
bus.
I'm like,
Funny bus.
Hand them out.
Yeah, I had like long hair and my earrings and the whole
Yes,
thing.
me
Oh
too.
yeah. Oh
We're
yeah.
the same age, right? We're the same age.
Same age. Yeah, I'm 52. You're 35.
Yes.
and yeah.
Yeah.
When's your birthday, Alan?
I don't know. I forget when my birthday is.
He says
September.
If he says what day his birthday is, everybody gets $1,000, including
Really?
you. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. This could be your lucky day.
What was the bell?
If I ever
Hold on, I have to go check someone in.
if I ever remember my birthday.
Now, if someone was saying that you mentioning that you were the heaviest baby born, it meant it like you were actually talking about your birthday.
That's true.
So
no,
You know, it's funny.
Nice
That's
try.
a good name for a band. Heavy Baby.
Heavy Baby. Ladies and gentlemen, Heavy Baby and Sabotage.
Sabotage.
Good night. So was Vancouver just a proximity thing rather than going, well, I'm going to go to Toronto because that's the biggest place up here, or I'm going to go, there were, you're not that far from Seattle. Was it just...
No, Vancouver was the place.
Yeah.
I grew up in the middle of nowhere. I grew up in British Columbia. Vancouver was our city, so you went to Vancouver. I was in the Big Smoke when I was in Vancouver. Did I ever think? I was so naive. I never knew I was going to be leaving America. I'm in Canada. I didn't know I was going to be going to America. I was just a Canadian kid. I'm going to do game shows, and I'm going to do talk shows, and I'm going to do stand up at night. Little did I know that I was going to have to go other places and do more than just game shows and stand.
Oh, you were like, maybe I'll blow up in Vancouver and I'll be like a big,
I had no clue. I just thought that's what you did. You went on the local talk show because I'd see comedians on that.
Yeah.
And you'd go to the comedy club and, I had no clue that, oh yeah, you got to get out of Canada. I remember like my third open mic, a guy named Pat Bullard just said, hey, Ian, you're really funny. Do everything in your power to move away from Canada.
Did you start as a guy that was writing material? Because because you're thinking, well, this is how it works. This is what I have to do.
Yes, my first, that's all built. Yeah. Like the doing the crowd, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
I have a meltdown every time I have to talk about. Because when I was in New York, it was just doing 10-minute power sets.
Right.
And the difference between New York and LA when I moved was New York was prison body and LA was long distance runner.
Mm-hmm.
Like just short sets, and then doing an hour in LA. So
well, and most people in LA trying to get a sitcom or doing pilot season and all that kind of stuff.
I think that was back in the day. Now I
that
think,
was my day. Back early 90s was when that was,
Yeah, so that's all changed. But yeah, I had no idea I was going to have to leave my country. Like, first of all, I had to leave my family because they were in northern British Columbia. And then
they're holding you back. They didn't believe in you.
Yeah, they weren't in show business.
Goodbye, Baggs.
Gary's Auto Supply was not helping out. You know what's funny is at my wedding.
They wouldn't sponsor you like a little league team.
He put on the back of his T-shirt he wears on stage.
When I got married, my mom was having some drinks, and I overheard her talking to one of my friends. That was the night I spent with Wayne Newton, and I was like, "What?"
I love that.
That would
just
helped,
one.
That would have helped out way more than Gary's Auto Supply if you'd stuck with that guy.
Right,
right.
Wayne Newton. He definitely would have left Canada.
Oh man,
wow.
I just every time I see Wayne Newton, I'm just like, that's what my dad looked like with a facelift.
So when this Pat Bullard goes, you got to get out of Canada.
Yeah.
Your first thing out was what? Cross the border to Seattle, or what did you do? Like baby steps?
I actually did a trip with my friend Craig Campbell down to Los Angeles. He was going to Los Angeles. I said, can I get in a car?
Yep.
He said, yeah, sure, come on. We drove from Vancouver to Los Angeles in a 1966 Dodge Valiant.
Nice.
I think is what it was.
How far is that?
AM radio. It was 3 days.
Yeah.
Is that
It's
a
a long
For real?
time.
Yeah.
For real? So that'd be like driving from here to Los Angeles.
No, well, if you look at that map over there, just look where Seattle is.
Well, I know where Seattle is. You're so you're like right over the border.
Vancouver's over the
Oh,
border.
okay,
Yeah.
okay.
So, so it's
I
that
thought you were
long.
talking about from your hometown.
Oh, from my hometown up near Alaska.
Yeah,
No,
I thought
no,
you were saying you
no, from
drove from
Vancouver.
there
No,
to
So,
LA.
but we're in a 66 Valiant, so we're doing 65 miles an hour, right? So I remember we got off, when we got to Hollywood, we got off this, this stop, and people were partying, listening to music, and they said, turn up your radio. And I said, we've only got AM. Which news station do you want?
Traffic on the 10s is coming up.
But it was fun. And then I got to see it, and I was like, oh. And then I went to I followed Craig to the Comedy Festival in Montreal.
Yep.
I happened to get a guest spot.
Who was he? Was he, an aspiring guy too? Or?
He lives in England now. I guess he does very well over there. But at the time, he was the big wig of Vancouver comedy.
Okay, he was a comedian.
Yeah, and we were around the same age. He started about 2 years before me, so I just kind of coattailed on him. And I went out to watch him in Montreal, got a guest spot. An owner of a club in New York seen me and said, "You're really funny. You should come to New York." I took that as I better move to New York. So I went down there and bugged him, and he put me on stage. Lived in a youth hostel for 45 days.
Yeah.
Ended up getting Conan O'Brien off of knowing the guy that owned this was the comic strip. He said to me, "Hey, tonight there's going to be an audition for Conan O'Brien. You're not on it." And I was like, "That's nice of you to tell me."
Love that information.
Right. He said, "But you're going to go on right before it." So what's going to happen was, if they show up on time, they're going to see you. If they don't show up on time, you're going to kill time for them.
Yeah.
Be there.
Yep.
They showed up on time.
Yeah.
I got seen. I was the only one that got the show.
And you weren't even technically auditioning.
Love that.
But that changed my world completely.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Do you remember any of the other people who auditioned for that spot?
Everybody that did.
Okay.
They all ended up doing.
So
it
that
at
was
some
your
point.
first TV spot.
Yeah, that was my first TV spot, and also I was completely illegal.
Yeah.
Shouldn't have been there at all.
Not at all. Not at all. Living in
Not
a
even
youth
a work
hostel.
visa.
Not even a work visa. They helped me get my work papers.
Yeah.
And
Did that slow down the process? Did you have to have the papers before you did like Conan?
Yeah. So they got it. They got me a lawyer. That lawyer was like,
See,
"Go
this
back
is what
to
we've been
Canada."
saying. All these immigrants taking our jobs.
Yeah, right.
Just coming
That's
over
right.
here illegally.
I don't mind if you do it the right way, but
Yeah, but if you're just gonna stay in a hostel.
I did it completely the wrong way.
We should make all the immigrants audition for Conan O'Brien, and then that way.
Yeah, that's how you pick your immigrants.
Yeah, that's how you do it.
Yeah, but at
So
the same time,
it
you
was-
got to remember, people want to come here because it's the place.
Right. But
the
it's also,
place.
but what you describe is so much of showbiz in any of its forms really is just stumbling into furniture and hoping that you find something.
The person sees you at the right time.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Right time, right place, wrong time. Most of the time you missed it by just a little bit, but also just being naive enough.
Right.
That, I can do this. I'm going to take $1,100 Canadian, turn it into $800 American.
Right.
And with my bag of stuff, I'm going to go to New York City.
Well, you can
and
never
that's
have
gonna be my new home.
You can never have too much confidence. You can every little bit you've got, you can use.
But it wasn't confidence. It was stupid.
Optimism. Whatever. I mean, whatever.
I don't
Potato,
know.
potato. You know what I mean?
Doesn't matter.
Optimism.
Confidence was like, I'm going to go down there and I'm going to take over the world. I'm going to get on stage in New York.
Right.
That was my confidence.
I don't even think. I mean, that to me is more like. I don't mean like arrogance. I mean like confident. You got to go. Hey, why not me? The thought is, why not me?
I guess it was. I was like, I'm funny. I know I'm funny. But I remember going down there, and for the first month, I was eating it because I had to figure it out. But I was able to figure it out. And when we talk about crowd work, when I auditioned for Conan O'Brien, it was 7 minutes of bam, bam, bam. It was all material, right? So that's not always been my thing. It's always been my thing, but it's not always been the forefront, you know.
Yeah, and it's not like you
now
have
it is.
to lean. Yeah,
because you as you go further into it, you become a personality, right?
Yeah.
So what's your personality? We have one friend takes off his shirt. You know, like things like that.
That's not going to work for him.
Never.
You should not try that.
I know that you don't wear a watch, Ian Bagg, but it's time to start the weekend.
Oh, boy.
Are we going to play Loverboy?
Are you ready?
It's the Friday Get Down.
Bill Squire Friday Get Down. Are you ready for this?
Thanks for letting me just spurt in this stupid stuff.
Of course. Are you ready to start, Bill?
I'm ready.
All right, the Bill Squire Friday Get Down is in honor of the late, great Murray Saul here at WMMS. It's how we begin the weekends, holidays and otherwise. Take it away, William.
It's Friday! You got to get down on Friday. Get yourself a Polish boy and head to Ladies to see the legal immigrant Ian Bagg do some crowd work. Crowd worker, crowd worker, crowd worker. It's Friday!
That's exciting. In all of its glory.
There you go. The weekend has begun.
I don't think there's ever been a guest-centric Friday Get Down.
It's the first time we've ever.
Yeah.
That's the first time we've ever. Mary hates it.
I hate it. It's my least favorite thing that we do on this show.
Come on.
And there's a lot to choose from and things that we don't like doing on the show.
How do your eyeballs feel after it?
Oh, it's fine.
Dry?
My eyeballs are fine because I keep them closed through the whole thing. It wrecks my throat every week.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You should be sponsored by Halls for this.
Ricola. Yeah. Well, there it is. Go and do likewise, gents.
Throat
Weekend is
coat.
underway.